I know that we're honoring him this evening, though, with the International Development Award. And not only is he the senior member of the House Committee on Foreign Affairs and ranking member of the Subcommittee on Africa and Global Health and Human Rights, but he is not just the CBC's leader on Africa, but he is the leader and advisor to presidents, the Secretary of State, and anyone who has sense will go to Donald Payne if they want to know what is going on, what is happening, and what needs to be done in all of the countries on the continent. I jokingly tell him that I don't travel with him, because Donald Payne is the kind of person, I'm sure he's going somewhere on the continent in the next week while we're on our recess, but he goes into the jungles to make peace between the rebels. And when his plane was shot at in Mogadishu, that was the final straw. I know I'm not traveling with you, Donald, but you can ask for a better leader and someone who has really dedicated himself to the continent and to helping to restore peace, stability in government, and also now health care. Donald, when President Bush announced at one of his State of the Unions that he was going to increase PEPFAR, double PEPFAR from $15 billion to $30 billion over the next coming 5 years, he, together with Barbara Lee, said, yeah, 30 billion? Well, we're going to do one better. We're going to go to 50 billion. And they did it, led by Donald Payne. The PEPFAR was not only doubled, but it went really to 48 billion because 2 billion went to help some of our Native American brothers and sisters. But that was a great achievement, and in doing so, we also made sure that Donald and Barbara made sure that the Caribbean countries were also included, as they had not been during the first PEPFAR. So before coming to Washington, Donald Payne served his community as an educator, a businessman, and as elected official. He served on various boards and commissions as a proud father of 3, grandfather of 4, and great-grandfather of 1. So I'm really pleased and honored to join you in presenting him with the International Development Award. He has truly been a game changer and a visionary, and we salute him for the magnificent and positive difference that he's made in his district, in Newark, in the state of New Jersey, in our nation, and in the world, in particular to the countries of Africa and the Caribbean. So join me in welcoming and honoring Congressman Donald Payne this evening.
Let me say what a wonderful introduction that was. I couldn't have asked anyone to do it better, but I'm not surprised. That's why I asked her. Because she's a game changer herself. You know, Dr. Donna Christensen is a physician. She gave up her practice basically to serve her constituents in Congress. And she almost single-handedly ensured that in the health care reform bill that President Obama passed, and believe me, it is going to that's going to be a game changer once people realize how good it really is. They've just distorted the Health Care Reform Act. But Donna Christensen made sure that minorities, women, federally registered health centers, qualified health centers were all taken care of. And so she is a real trooper. And once again, let me thank you for that kind introduction. To Randall Pinkett, he's a Newarker, and as you know, he was the only sole winner. I think Trump tried to say, well, won't you share it with someone else? He said, no, I'm going to take it myself, right? And said, let's have a playoff. And that was smart because he did an outstanding job, and we're very proud. And his wife was one of the persons involved in my YMCA program when I was a teacher in Newark, and so I feel very close to you, and keep up the great work. You're a fantastic example for our young people in Newark, and as you know, we need male role models, and also thank you for taking those two boys into your home. Certainly, let me begin by expressing my sincere appreciation to Michael Bowles and his team at the Mountaintop Marketing Group. You know, when you've certainly been to the mountaintop, you're just going to see the promised land. And so I know that you're on the right track. And let me thank you for selecting me for this International Development Award. Let me also thank you for a rare occasion. On Wednesdays, the members of the Congressional Black Caucus have our luncheon meeting, and that's where we solve all of the problems of African Americans, other Americans, Native Americans. Then we get to the world, take on China. You name it, we do it. But it's rare that we have an opportunity to come together twice for a meal in one day. And it's great that so many of the members of the Congress, primarily from the Congressional Black Caucus, although we did have several others that came here, as you could see. They weren't members of the Black Caucus, but they were here celebrating with this great event. And so we're pleased that we've been able to come together again tonight because we do appreciate fraternizing with one another. Let me just say, and I'm going to just close by saying I'm very honored to receive the International Development Award, one that I think represents my commitment to helping Africa recognize the excellence of its potential and my continued interest in promoting international development to benefit countries throughout the world. We have an annual brain trust on Africa. I've done it for 23 years. And at the Brain Trust, we have presidents of African countries. We have ambassadors. It goes on for 5 hours. It's one of the highest attended workshop brain trusts in Congress. And this year we talked about the whole question of business opportunities. We spoke about the need to make business easier in Africa, to revamp some of our financial instruments, to give U.S. businesses adequate access to the African market and African businesses because there is a real potential. Recently at a World Knowledge Forum, the United Nations Deputy Secretary General, Migo Magiro, declared Africa as a new investment frontier and called on the international community to grant the continent fairer access to global markets and invest in the resources by funding infrastructure development. In Africa, believe it or not, there are close to 1 billion people. Next year's estimate will be that there will be 300 million middle-income people on the continent of Africa. That's going to be a tremendous and is a tremendous opportunity for businesses. And ambassadors come daily to my office saying, we really want to see African Americans come and participate. We have the Exxon Bank that helps guarantee loans. We have the Africa Development Bank. We have tools. We're encouraging small businesses. And so I encourage you to take advantage of the opportunities on Africa. That is really the GDP grows at a rate of 5 or 6, 7% a year. It's going to even go higher once we stabilize the fuel and energy costs. So there's a tremendous opportunity. And by your investing in Africa, they will be able to increase the quality of life in their countries. I also have legislation that will, it's called the Higher Education Act for Africa, where we're trying to match the African universities with historically black colleges and universities in America, where we have a whole legislation that will help them as they increase their education in their countries. They're increasing their business acumen, they're increasing their IT. They are going to have to prepare their people to assume those jobs that are going to be made available as we move and progress in the future. So once again, it's really certainly a privilege for me to receive this award, and I will continue to work for all of us here, but also for the continent. And I always say that the blood that connects us is thicker than the water that separates us. Thank you.